Hi everyone, Aaron here for Zollotech, and this is the all-new Samsung Galaxy Z Fold6. We also have the Galaxy Buds3 Pro. I didn't get to choose which one was sent to me, but I thought we'd unbox it, take a look at it, set it up, and talk about the specs and what's new. Now the price of this device is $1,899 and goes up to $2,259, $100 more than last year. It starts at 256 gigs of storage, which I believe this one is. As you can see here at the top, we have a 256 gig option. It also comes in 512 and 1 terabyte. It comes in pink that we have here, navy, silver shadow, as well as black or white. Now we'll open the Galaxy Buds 3 Pro up a little bit later. Let's go ahead and open up the Z Fold 6. It was already opened when I actually received it, and let's see what we get inside the box. So it looks like it's got a SIM card in there, and let's see what we've got. So we'll open it up here and see what it includes. I don't think it includes a whole lot, and I should have opened it up at the bottom, but basically we have a USB-C to USB-C cable, as you can see here, typically what we receive with any Samsung phone, and then we just have a quick start guide as well as a warranty card. We also have a SIM card removal tool. Let's go ahead and set this aside and take a closer look at the device. So here's the phone itself. You can see that it's pink. Let's go ahead and take the screen cover off. There we go. And then if we flip it over, we'll take the underside or the larger display side off. And there we have it. Now this doesn't look too different from what we had before. Let me set the box aside so we can take a closer look at it. Now here's the phone itself. We have an armor aluminum frame. It also is slightly shorter and wider than last year, so it made it less sort of narrow here as far as using the cover display. It also has a new dual rail hinge that's stronger and thinner. So if we open this up here, you can't see a whole lot with that, but it gives you an idea of what it looks like. So it's a little bit lighter and thinner than last year, 5.6 millimeters thin, and it's also lighter at 239 grams or 8.43 ounces. Now, if we go around the outside, it looks like we've got a millimeter wave antenna on the right-hand side. We've got a volume button with an antenna line between that and the millimeter wave antenna, and then also our power sleep wake button that should be our fingerprint sensor. If we go around to the bottom, we have USB-C, a microphone, looks like another speaker, and then on the left-hand side, we have a removable SIM card tray and nothing else other than antenna lines. Now this allows for one physical SIM and one eSIM, at least in the United States. Let's go ahead and pop the SIM card tray out here and see what we've got. We don't have expandable storage, but it definitely looks like we actually have room for it. It just doesn't have expandable storage itself. So that's something that most Samsung phones don't seem to have these days. So if we place this back in and then go to the back, of course, you can see that we have a few different cameras. Internally, we have the latest Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 with improved cooling and a larger vapor chamber. We also have 12 gigabytes of RAM. Now the cover display is 6.3 inches, 2376 by 968, and is also 120 Hz capable. It's a foldable display inside, of course, and it has a 7.6 inch display, 2160 by 1865, again at 120 Hz, up to 2600 nits of brightness. We don't have a larger battery really. We have 4400 milliamp hours. It can charge at 25 watts plugged in, 15 watts wireless, and 4.5 watts reverse wireless charging. It's also enclosed with IP48 dust and water resistance, and of course has the normal things such as 5G, Wi-Fi 6E, Bluetooth 5.3, and that's it. No Wi-Fi 7 here. As far as the cameras go, well, the rear cameras, we have three, of course, looks a little bit different. It's got a nice little raised bump here. And what we have is a 12 megapixel ultra wide with better low light performance than last year, a 50 megapixel wide with 2x optical zoom, and a 10 megapixel 3x telephoto zoom. On the cover, we actually have a 10 megapixel camera, and then under the display, we have a 4 megapixel camera. So not a whole lot of changes there. Let's go ahead and boot it up, and we should have Android 14 with One UI 6.1.1, and all of the AI features that were brought along with the S24 Ultra should be here as well, with a couple new ones added also. Let me continue to hold, see if it's charged. It looks like it's not charged, so I'll have to go and plug it in. The phone's fully charged. Let's go ahead and boot it up here. Give it just a moment. There, it turns on. And for a quick size comparison, if you've never seen a Fold in person, here's an S24 Ultra next to it. So it's a little bit shorter than the S24 Ultra. From a side profile, you can see it here. It's a little bit thinner, but it's thicker with it folded shut, and you can see the overall size along with the camera bump. So it's definitely a little bit thicker. Let's go ahead and go back here. And again, side by side, there's the camera modules. Just gives you an idea of what it looks like overall as far as its size goes. Now let's go ahead and get this set up. So let's open it up. There we go. We've got the nice large screen. We'll tap Start. We can agree to all or agree to some of them. We'll go to Agree, and then we can easily set it up with another device. So let me go ahead and turn on this S24 Ultra. That should make it a little bit easier. And I have an S24 Ultra. It's turned on here. Let's go ahead and tap Galaxy or Android device, and now we'll set it up right away. So we'll tap Setup. It's connecting. This should make it easy to sign into my Samsung account. Again, we'll give it just a moment here while it connects. See what happens. There we go. Took a moment to connect. It says continue setup on your new device. So we have to put in the pin from the S24 Ultra. Now it's automatically connecting to my Wi-Fi, so that's really nice. We'll just set this down, and it says getting your phone ready. So it should move everything over, or at least get us signed into our account here. Now we can copy data from the Android device. We'll just tap Don't Copy so we can get through it quickly. We can use Google services, and of course you could have signed into Google. It says getting your phone ready, and it says one account, any device just for you. Sign in with a QR code. Let's go ahead and use the Samsung device here. That was easy. I definitely appreciate that, getting it set up very simply. And then we have to check out the following options. We'll tap More, and now we're signed in. Of course, we have Galaxy AI on this device with Call Assist, Chat Assist, Interpreter, Note Assist, and Transcript Assist, along with Browsing Assist, and then we can create epic images. So all of the things from the S24 Ultra. Then we have different services such as blocking unverified sources, blocks commands by USB-C cables, and much more. So you'll see all of those. We can agree to that, and then we can choose our display mode. We'll choose dark mode for this, tap Next, and then it says taking care of your phone. Just like all of the things we've seen before, it says pressing on the screen or under the display camera with a hand or sharp object could damage this. It says only use the Samsung S Pen. Don't remove the protective film, although it should be thinner this year. And if we look at the side here, you can see the edge. It looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and tap Next. And it says you're all set up. We'll tap Finish. And there we go. We have the default pink wallpaper to match the phone, and we're in. It's going to set everything up here. I didn't have to do anything. It was great to set it up from a different device. So if you're switching from an older Samsung, iPhone, or Pixel, or any other phone, it should be easy to sign in. As I mentioned before, this has Android 14 on it with One UI 6.1.1, and it has June's security patch installed. So everything looks good to go. Now, there is a new sketch to image feature that allows AI to turn the S Pen images into sketches or your sketches into images, and there's a new interpreter mode for translate, but nothing really new as far as this device goes. You'll see the display outside looks pretty good. It says swipe to unlock. We can put in the pin. Of course, we can set up the fingerprint sensor later, and then we're in. It should quickly transition here, and then of course we have all of our regular options here. You'll see we have Facebook pre-installed, so we can go into our different apps here. If we want to remove that, we can uninstall, or we could go into anything else. Let's see if it uninstalled it. There we go. Hit OK. It uninstalled it. And we have all the default sounds. Of course, that will fully need to be customized. As far as the wallpaper, let's take a look at some of the default ones. And of course, I'll try and include those in the description here. But if we go to change wallpaper, you'll see all of the different ones, which the black one actually looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and go to this one. We'll just use this for now, but we could create some with AI. Hit done, and it says changes applied. So you'll see it there. So as we close it and then reopen it, now in the settings, if we go to Galaxy AI, you can see Call Assist, Chat Assist, all of the new ones here, along with Drawing Assist and more. Now I don't have the S Pen for this, but I do have the S24 Ultra S Pen. Let's see if that will work. It probably won't, but let's try it anyway. and it actually recognizes it, but it says only use S Pens designed for your Galaxy Fold. Other S Pens will damage it. So you can't use this one with it. I thought I'd just try it, but just trying to use it, it will give you that message every time. Now, as far as the displays in PWM or pulse width modulation, the way it actually controls brightness by flashing the display faster or slower, that's something that is very typical for OLEDs, and Samsung devices all seem to have it. However, lately they've done a great job at making the rate high enough, especially on the S24 Ultra, that it doesn't really bother my eyes. So let's see if it's severe on this device or not. And as you can see on the inside display at 240 frames per second, it definitely seems to have some PWM. The same is true for the outside display. However, hopefully is at a high enough rate that it shouldn't bother most people's eyes, but if you are sensitive to that, it's about 1 in 10 people, I would recommend maybe checking out the S24 Ultra instead. Now, as far as other features, well, let's go ahead and unbox the Samsung Galaxy Buds 3 Pro. This device is pretty much very similar to the previous one, so there really isn't too many differences. Also, one thing I wanted to note is it does seem to rock quite a bit when you set it down on a table, so it's really easy to sort of shift back and forth. Now let's open up the Galaxy Buds 3 Pro. There we go. Oh, there's another one here. And these come in at $249.99, and they have noise cancellation, so that actually looks pretty good. Let's see what we get in the box, if anything. So it says, find the perfect fit, pair with your mobile device, sort of a quick start guide. And then in the box here, it looks like we do get a USB-C cable, so USB-C and maybe some additional accessories. So USB-C to USB-C, and then in here, it looks like we've got some other accessories, your ear tips, so if you want to change them to a larger or smaller size, that's available. We have a quick start guide, and then it also says the different things such as touch-sensitive sensor, microphone, speaker, sort of goes over what's here. So let's set this aside and take a closer look at the Buds 3 Pro themselves. So we'll take them out of the box, and these supposedly look a lot like AirPods Pro 2, but let's open them up, and I would say maybe a little bit, but they have this nice triangular shape to them and a light on the outside. So that looks pretty good. So you'll see them here. You've got the ear tip, so we can pull this off just like that. That's what it looks like here. And then if we put that back in place, there we go. You'll see the bottom. We've got some microphones, and then it's got a little blue color here to go along with blue in the case. Let's see if we have the same over here. It's red here for right, so this is your right ear, blue is left ear, and then of course you have the different sensors around the outside. If we try and pair this to our device, let's do that. We've opened it up here. Let's try it again. Put these in the case, and when I open this up, it wants to connect right away, so that's great. Tap connect. Give it just a moment here. Sometimes there's updates for these earbuds, so you'll see here it says retry. We'll give it a retry. So we'll tap connect again. Let's see if they'll pair now. Maybe there's a software update for the store. I'm not sure. There we go. Now they're connected. Now we'll allow them to find, connect, and determine the relative position of the nearby device. And it says downloading software. Your phone will use Galaxy Buds 3 Pro Manager to connect to your earbuds. So I have to actually download this. And let's not agree to everything optional. We'll tap continue and allow so we can actually use this. It says turn on adaptive noise control to adjust noise control automatically based on your surroundings. We'll tap next. We have voice and siren detection as well. And then we also have, well, I guess it says you're set. So give it just a moment here. And now we have controls. We can adjust it to ambient sound, adaptive, active noise canceling, and this all looks fairly familiar if you've used AirPods. Then we have sound quality and effects for 360 audio. We even have an equalizer though, which is always nice. So if you want to adjust this yourself, you can. And then we have loudness normalization, which is pretty standard as far as boosting the overall bass or just sound around it. And then we have ultra high quality audio. That's something I really appreciate. We can get 96 kilohertz sample rates. Sound response may lag in some apps, it says. And then we have super wide band speech. We get clearer sound on calls with 16 kilohertz bandwidth. Let's turn that on for both. We'll go back here and let me try them out briefly. Now, I listened to them for a little while. They sound pretty good, and you can see there's actually some pins down here where it connects and charges, it looks like, from the bottom of the earbud itself. Place it in there, and they sound pretty good. It has a nice, rich, full sound. The bass is very pronounced, maybe too much for some people, but as far as how they compare with others, well, I haven't used them enough to actually say. But I like the overall case design. It's familiar, but different enough. It's not a whole lot more you can do with a case for earbuds. And then you have USB-C on the bottom and a little connection button there. But they work pretty good. Of course, they're going to work seamlessly with your Samsung device. And so not much more to say about those, but they definitely are really nice. And you typically can get discounts when you buy one of these devices with it. So if you don't have the Buds 3 Pro, I think they're a nice upgrade over the previous ones. If we go ahead and unlock this here, there we go. I set up the fingerprint reader a little bit earlier. I think it's a decent device. If you like foldables, you know what you're getting into. I do wish they had a larger battery in it. And as far as everything else, well, it's very familiar. It's a little bit wider here on the display screen, but I think it's a nice upgrade if you don't have one. The price increase is not great for everyone, but they typically have pretty good trade-in deals as well. But let me know what you think about the Galaxy Z Fold 6 in the comments below. And like I mentioned earlier, I'll try and link these wallpapers if you'd like to get your hands on them. Let me know what color you would choose between the pink and the blue color or black and white. I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. If you haven't subscribed already though, please subscribe. And if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. As always, thanks for watching. This is Aaron. I'll see you next time.